quite a marvelous Juliet. I knew her, you know.
Juliet, the real Juliet, from Romeo and Juliet.
Of course. Her father, Giovanni, owned a small boutique vineyard in the hills outside Verona.
Shakespeare. You knew William Shakespeare.
I should say so. I most certainly did. In his Stratford days, and in his crib, too. I remember his mother would bring him to my cornfield. Well, it wasn't my cornfield in the strictest sense of the word, but it was in my keeping, under my care, as she would sit at my feet and sing him the sweetest little song. And I thought to myself, with a mother like that and a song in his heart, he is well on his way to becoming a fine poet. And was I right? I most certainly was. Later, as he got older, he would come to my cornfield all by himself and try out his soliloquies on me. He would say, "To be or not to be?" And I would say, "That is a very fine question. A very fine question indeed." But listen to me running away with myself. And you, down in the proverbial dumps.
Stein, the flaming crow, Scareface. Who's the skirt?
You!
Me! So you remember, do you? Thought you would.
The name's Scarecrow.
Scarecrow. You don't scare me, you great bellicose bag of straw. But I'll bet you ugly mug you scared the skirt on first meeting. Am I right, Skirt, am I right? Name's Crow. Pleased to meet you. My friends call me Iago.
She's not your friend, and neither am I.
Oh, don't mind him. I shut his shoulder more than once over the millennium. Couldn't do nothing about it. Till it rained and it was washed clean. But then I'd be back to do it again, eh? As to you being my friend, never said you was nor implied it by word or deed. But we know each other, don't we, just? And you'll keep. You look like you're in the need of some serious cheering up, young Skirt, eh? What's your name?
Hazel.
Hazel, eh? Well, Hazel, or can I call you Hayseed? What's in the name anyway? A rose by any other name would smell as sweet,
Don't you start.
What? Were I the more, I would not be Iago. In following him, I follow myself. Heaven is my judge. Not I for love or duty, but seeming so. I am not what I am, eh? Says buckets, don't you think? I am not what I am. Or as the French would say, je suis un garçon. Then who the fuck am I, eh? That's for me to know and for you to figure out. Oh, I loved that part. Internalised it, you might say. Me, I'm a flaming walking personification of perversion. Still, nobody's ever called me a hypocrite.
Don't listen to a word he says.
The apparel oft proclaims the man, I see. Look at who's talking. See how he dresses himself in resplendent rags? But rags nonetheless. What a rogue and peasant slave, eh? Fine one to go about the place castigating one such as myself. The soldiers, scholars, courtiers, eye. Course it was Pythagoras who made it up. Funny little Greek fella. Had a flair for the philosophic and secret societies. Chased me out of his orchard more than once. And then took umbrage because I told him to shove his theorem of his Pythagoras!
What a stink! Me whiskers are all abuzz, tremulating with the whiff of it. And so says I to myself, Mouse, rouse yourself and go and see what is amiss. And so silence and feeling without equivocation tremulously sorry for yourself. Suck it up, cowboy! Now, for the love of liberty and life, I ask you again. Oh, and before you answer, I have a plan that, should you embrace, will see us all entertain a golden future. We shall form a theatre troupe and tour the world performing Beckett. Now, fellas, what do you say to that?
You're mad!
I'm mad as hell, and I'm going to get even if it takes forever. Give or take a day or two.
What were you mad at?
A certain crow. Have you seen him? Calls himself Iago. He's got an ink-black coat, brilliant glass-green eyes, and an ego the size of Argentina.
Yes, we've seen him.
Huh? I knew it! I knew it! And he's scared you, hasn't he? Scared you shitless. It's in my nostrils and my tremulating whiskers.
Language.
English, the best of, spoken with an elevated tone, largest gestures, metaphoric in intent. Oh, and I apologize for the crudity, and for any harm it may have caused. I am, damn it, an impetuous mouse, a fired-up mouse, bordering on ejaculation.
Calm down now, please. It would be best for all.
What's he done to you?
Ate the wife and 49 offspring. Gnawed their dear bones clean white as chalk. Caught him at it, drooling from his crimson beak. He fixed me with his glass-green stare, daring me to do something about it.
What did you do?
I drew my sword, and I lunged at his heaving breast, and he let out a dreadful and slashed at me with his razor-sharp talons, and then I...
You didn't do anything, did you? You're making it all up.
I wanted to. I desperately wanted to.
But you were paralyzed with fear.
Frozen to the spot.
You wet yourself.
Dribbled down my leg. Formed a telltale puddle around my feet. He fixed me with his glass-green stare and said,
It's all right. You're not alone.
the indignity of it all.
As I've been saying.
I am, in truth, a timorous little mouse, whose tremulations are, to be certain, the byproduct of a defective being. Why could I do nothing but gape and quake in horror and fear, while those I hold most dear gave up their ghosts, which haunt and mock me now? I see them, you know.
Where?
In my mind's eye. Every waking minute, every dreaming hour they're with me to remind me to do it, to spur me on to my dull revenge, to let them rest in peace, and me. Oh, that I could purchase that peace. Peace to knit up the raveled sleeve of care, so to speak. What a contented mouse I'd be.
You said purchase.
Yes,
It means to buy.
I suppose.
Then you know there's a cost.
What's your point?
But it may prove too dear. How much are you willing to pay?
Every fibre of my being tremulates, and still I don't have the answer. I'm an inveterate coward.
Oh, I wish I could help you, Mouse. You're a dear little fellow. And I think, in your own way, you're very brave.
You think so?
Yes, I do. I most assuredly do.
Then you don't think I'm a coward.
Of
conviction, steadfast in my resolve, without a hint of tremulation. I equivocate, and I am undone.
You must be resolute, Mouse.
Scarecrow?
I concur.
It seems to me, correct me if I'm wrong, that we are in a stew. Agreed?
Agreed.
And it seems to me that we should do something about it.
Agreed.
And it seems to me that we should do it sooner rather than later.
Procrastination has spelt the end of many a noble soul.
Alas, too true. But who will lead us on our perilous journey?
Will you?
Me. Lead you. I don't think I'm qualified.
Oh, some are born great, some achieve greatness, and others have greatness thrust upon them. What do you say?
Well, all right, I suppose. But it seems to me peculiar nonetheless that I find myself in this predicament. Here I am, weeping over my weakness in maths, when I'm unwittingly swept into a crusade with a scarecrow. And maths.
Excellent! Iago will regret the day he was born to utter that frightful sound.
I simply don't believe this.
Believe only that there are more things between heaven and earth than are dreamt of in your philosophy, young Hazel. There is providence in the fall of a sparrow. If it be now, 'tis not to come. If it be not to come, it will be now. If it be not now, yet it will come. The readiness is all.
Excellent!
A good friend of mine who taught me a great deal of what I know lived in Venice, close to the Rialto Bridge. Ah, yes. I observed him daily going about his business, wheeling and dealing. He had an eye for a bargain as green as an emerald, and his garbadine coat was as black as death. He was a covetous fellow. But what of that? He had a daughter, Jessica. Flighty, ungrateful little piece. Ran off with some young buck, taking her parents' impeccable, precious jewel with her. That hayseed I met with Scareface reminds me of her. In looks, you understand, not indeed. How would I know? We've only just met. But if looks do count for anything, I wouldn't put it past her. On the back of my friend's labor, the world turned. But the world crawled with prejudice and bias. It hated my friend with jealousy and spite. It spat upon him, cursed him, even as he would plead. I am just like you. If you prick me, do I not bleed? I will dispense with the details. They expected mercy from him. Oh, I salivate now with the mere memory of it. But he was tricked. They ruined him, and I starved through a long, weary winter of discontent. But all things come to an end. The sun is up, and there's opportunity in the air. Smell it. Oh. I feel nimble, flaming nimble. Strike me pink, a distraction. Let's see if it's worth the effort. No, no, no. Ooh. Definitely not. Go. Oh, you belong in there. Oh, what's this? McNuggets. And empty too, disgusting. Humans would eat each other if there weren't a law against it. What else? No. has just changed. A cube of some kind. Silver. And shiny too. Must be worth a fortune. Well, finders, flaming keepers, is what I say.
You!
Me?
Yes, you! What are you doing on top of that bin?
I'm a flaming crow.
Look at the mess you've made.
I'm a flaming crow.
What did you find
Oh,
in the bin?
Nothing of note.
I don't believe you.
Give a crow a bad name.
I've lost something very precious to me. I've been looking for it everywhere.
Careless of you to lose it in the first place, love.
It's a small cube. It has great sentimental value. My father gave it to me when I was a small child.
And you've lost it. Let me tell you of the way of things, my boy. It's all in the placement of the decimal point. Miscalculations can cause catastrophe. The difference between success and failure is as insignificant as that dot. On top of which, you have the decided disadvantage of being born into a bleak winter. We belong to a despised race, young Jack, and sufferance is the badge of all our tribe.
Tribe, Father?
Oh yes, tribe, young Jack. From the beginning of time, all we've done is look to feather our nest and feed our young. We mould our progeny in our image. We've done all we can, and so for better or worse, the world turns. It makes me mad. Think, who would have taken the other? Who would have had a nerve? Who knew you had it, where you kept it safe and warm? Oh, my jewel, my precious. My boy. My precious. Ah, fire! I will find him, be he near or far, in the depths of the deep, deep forest, or the crowded town, on a snowy mountain top in the bottom of the sea. I'll stalk until I have it. If I have to fly 1,000 miles, I'll have it back where it belongs. And I will choke the life out of him and say, this is what happens when you steal from Iago.
Excellent! What are we waiting for? Let's apprehend them and have ourselves a trial! Mercy! Why should I be merciful? What's he done to deserve my mercy?
The quality of mercy is not strained. It droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is twice blessed. It blesseth him that gives and him that takes.
That was beautiful, Hazel. Beautiful and magnificent.
Take it. Hold on to it. Keep it safe.
Cube. My cube. You kept your promise. I thought I knew everything there was to know. And here I stand, amazed.